role's so much fun, and there's nothing more tense and stressful I can think of than dealing with a live bomb. How was it filming those scenes? Because you're in an interesting situation where you have to show the stress of the situation, but also your character's experience and expertise. So how was it finding that balance?
Yeah, no, I think it's a unique situation. I mean, it was a character that was so interesting when I read it, and Mackenzie approached me for this role. And yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, just like to be in a heist movie with all these kind of wild characters who are like, are they who they say they are? You know, what's going on? What's below the surface? That's gonna like reveal itself. And it felt like this World War II explosive was this sort of this ticking time bomb that creates the energy, the stakes, the high suspense, the high octane kind of drive for this movie, and just but also each character is their very own like ticking time bomb. They're like, when are they going to expose themselves? And is it going to all come crumbling down after them? Um, I think the great thing for me was, David Mackenzie is someone who cares a lot about authenticity. This had to be rooted in some kind of reality. It's a high concept, but actually, when we did the digging with them, military consultants and police and EOD specialists. These were all very plausible situations, and World War II relics are also being found, discovered, and there is a protocol for that, and it takes a specialist team because it's from a you have to be well immersed in that. This guy Nick Orr was EOD, our consultant, and yeah, we worked very closely in terms of like how do you deal with the pressure cooker, of like, this is a life or death situation, and you have to constantly be reminded about that, that there is a seriousness to it, there's a tone to it, but also in the midst of that, you're asserting yourself with authority with these other military guys around you. And then there's this sort of other thing where there's like gallows humor to break the tension. So David liked that, and we played a lot with that. And yeah, I mean, it's an interesting character.
Yeah, David's brilliant because he's always bending genres, and this movie's such a
Yeah,
unique blend too. I haven't really seen a heist movie quite like it, so that's always fun. And I
agreed.
was curious, it has to be exciting being in a heist movie. Are there any classic heist movies that you constantly rewatch? Do you have a favorite in the genre?
Yeah, I do. It's funny that, isn't it? Like, it definitely is a fun. I mean, like, Heat would be one. The Town would be one. Whilst making this movie, it was something about, I don't even know why we got into this. I was really into watching Alan Delon, and and then I was like, wow, we just went down a 70s French heist movie genre thing, and I was like, these are so cool. It was so like I was just loving being in that world. And then he was like, well, that's kind of also inspired. He was very inspired by that genre too. And there's something um, something innate in the way that those have an outcome that he kind of wanted this an outcome in this. He's like, I want it to feel like we're following these guys to the very end in a way that I don't want to reveal anything, but it was just like it was sort of a response to those sort of movies back then, I guess.